Change your thoughts, and you change your world. Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. I arise full of eagerness and energy, knowing well what achievement lies ahead of me. Half a century ago, the amazing courage of Rosa Parks, the visionary leadership of Martin Luther King, and the inspirational actions of the civil rights movement-led politicians to write equality into the law and make real the promise of America for all her citizens. The single most important thing in a child's performance is the quality of the teacher. Making sure a child spends the maximum amount of time with inspirational teachers is the most important thing. I have amazing friends who have led inspirational lives. It's inspirational to see someone who is dying smile. The best form of flattery is to be admired, imitated, or respected. I've always felt proud our fans look up to us or feel we are inspirational. One of the things that I did before I ran for president is I was a professional speaker. Not a motivational speaker, an inspirational speaker. Motivation comes from within. You have to be inspired. I inspire people. I inspire the public. I inspire my staff. I inspired the organizations I took over to want to succeed. Do What You Gotta Do is a positive, inspirational song that says no matter what it is, whether you're up against challenges or trying to get your dreams and aspirations met, you should do whatever you have to do shy of killing yourself or someone else. Star Wars is fun, it's exciting, it's inspirational, and people respond to that. It's what they want. Rap music's been around for too long now to be inspirational. The words are, but the music isn't. I wanted to do something inspirational for my children. I try not to put anything political on the forefront of what I'm trying to do creatively. At the same time, I do think it's wonderful when I hear people say that it's inspirational that I'm an Indian woman on camera. My life is very diverse, and my friends are a diverse group of people. I do love to eavesdrop. It's inspirational, not only for subject matter, but for actual dialogue, the way people talk. I view art as an inspirational tool. To me, the 70s were very inspirational and very influential, with my whole persona as Snoop Dogg, as a person, as a rapper. I just love the 70s style, the way all the players dressed nice, kept their hair looking good, drove sharp cars, and they talked real slick. Space and Israel concept that allows you to dream big. I think that the reason for my success is that I am really not aspirational. I am inspirational in that the people at home feel like they can really relate to me. I think if there's something one needs to change with oneself, it doesn't have to happen in the new year. You can do that anytime you please. Not that it's not a good inspirational tactic for the people that it works for. Look at a football field. It looks like a big movie screen. This is theater. Football combines the strategy of chess. It's part ballet. It's part battleground, part playground. We clarify, amplify, and glorify the game with our footage, the narration, and that music, and in the end create an inspirational piece of footage. Almost every college playwright or sketch or improv comedian was sort of aware of Christopher Durang, even kids in high school. His short plays were so accessible to younger people, and I think that was inspirational to me. Roosevelt's declaration that Americans had nothing to fear but fear itself was a glorious piece of inspirational rhetoric, and just as gloriously wrong. So I wanted to sing inspirational music, and that's exactly how I approached it. Only the words have been changed to declare my relationship with God. I used to make up stuff in my bio all the time, that I used to be a professional ice skater and stuff like that. I found it so inspirational. Why not make myself cooler than I am? President Obama called for a idea we nation in his inauguration address. Art convenes. It is not just inspirational, It is aspirational. It pricks the walls of our compartmentalized minds, opens our hearts and makes us brave. And that's what we need most in our country today. Had I not come out with an inspirational CD, you perhaps would have never known that I feel like I feel. That all songs, all the music I've ever done is a gift from God. You never know when some small thing will lead to a big idea. Travel is very inspirational, but it's in the ordinary that I find my themes of love and work and family. I will always desire to play with Bruce Springsteen. He's the most inspirational, most dedicated, most committed, and most focused artist I've ever seen. I like to be around people like that. I am very conscious of who I am as an artist and as an inspirational person. When Maurice touched a keyboard, it was like something from a movie, magical. He would always give you something from a movie, and you'd go, "What did you just play?" Immediately inspirational writings, amazing. That's what we're going to miss. The flow of guineas into the studio was inspirational as well as nutritive. Books are challenging and inspirational to me. What were once only hopes for the future have now come to pass. It is almost exactly 13 years since the overwhelming majority of people in Ireland and Northern Ireland voted in favor of the agreement signed on Good Friday 1998, paving the way for Northern Ireland to become the exciting and inspirational place that it is today. I'd like to one day be featured on a list of inspirational people who have made a difference in the world, whether it be helping underprivileged people or putting an end to the poaching of wildlife in Africa. I hope that at the end of the 7 years, people will say that I have been of some inspirational value to them at home in terms of inclusiveness and abroad. I look forward to representing Ireland. Architecture is not an inspirational business. It's a rational procedure to do sensible and hopefully beautiful things, that's all. In fact, I wouldn't really call this a gospel album. I call it more an inspirational album. I grew up in a bookless house. My parents didn't read poetry, so if I hadn't had the chance to experience it at school, I'd never have experienced it. But I loved English, and I was very lucky in that I had inspirational English teachers, Miss Scriven and Miss Walker, and they liked us to learn poems by heart, which I found I loved doing. Since we launched the original pop idol in England, I've remained close with Simon Fuller, working as executive producer on American Idol for its first 7 years. Not only was an inspirational journey into the heart of American pop culture, it opened my eyes to the untapped potential of the incredibly dynamic young people in this world. I think the end goal, hopefully, is to take advantage of the attention I've gotten along the way and use it for good and build some communities. And as I get older, I can continue to do things and be surrounded by things that are inspirational to me. I love a lot of the New York bands, but Patti Smith stands out. I just read Just Kids, and it's an inspirational, well-written account of an emerging New York artist in the late 70s. Every song you're trying to find something that's going to connect in different ways, but for me, the songs that I'm really drawn to are inspirational. Songs that lift you and that everybody can relate to no matter where you're from. Deacon Jones has been the most inspirational person in my football career. This CD became something of a personal journey for me. The tone of the whole CD is uplifting and inspirational. It's an upper. We have enough downers in the world. My tastes in inspirational artists were always rather eclectic and diverse. I've done a lot of albums and I kind of know when I'm onto something that was inspirational for me to record and create. And this was one of those projects where I really enjoyed making the album. Reason Red TS and a concerted effort to preserve our heritage is a vital link to our cultural, educational, aesthetic, inspirational, and economic legacies. All of the things that quite literally make us who we are. I love inspirational ramp, like Mary J. Blige and Jennifer Hudson. I want to do that. That kind of music stays with you. There have been many different artists that have been inspirational. I suppose the question is directed to what was the reason why I went into fantasy illustration. Lee's great gifts are teaching and inspirational guidance, not administration and management. The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. Even any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. We should take care not to make the intellect our God. It has, of course, powerful muscles, but no personality. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. If we listened to our intellect, we'd never have a love affair. We'd never have a friendship. We'd never go into business because we'd be cynical. Well, that's nonsense. You've got to jump off cliffs all the time and build your wings on the way down. An intelligent man is sometimes forced to be drunk to spend time with his fools. Bastardy common sense is not so common. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Ignorance is the curse of God. Knowledge is the wing wherewith we fly to heaven. I choose my friends for their good looks, my acquaintances for their good characters, and my enemies for their intellects. A man cannot be too careful in the choice of his enemies. Be as smart as you can, but remember that it is always better to be wise than to be smart. Character is higher than intellect. A great soul will be strong to live as well as think. Intelligence without ambition is a bird without wings. I must have a prodigious quantity of mind. It takes me as much as a week sometimes to make it up. A woman has to be intelligent, have charm, a sense of humor, and be kind. It's the same qualities I require from a man. A smart man makes a mistake, learns from it, and never makes that mistake again. But a wise man finds a smart man and learns from him how to avoid the mistake altogether. To expect the unexpected shows a thoroughly modern intellect. I know that I am intelligent because I know that I know nothing. Information is not knowledge. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Action is the real measure of intelligence. If there are no stupid questions, then what kind of questions do stupid people ask? Do they get smart just in time to ask questions? Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. I'm not offended by all the dumb blonde jokes because I know I'm not dumb. And I also know that I'm not blonde. Common sense is genius, dressed in its working clothes. There are no great limits to growth because there are no limits of human intelligence, imagination, and wonder. All intelligent thoughts have already been thought. What is necessary is only to try to think them again.